Welcome back to our life, beginnings and always. As always, I am here for you, and you are here for me, and I appreciate that. Wow, we only have 3 moments left, and then summer ended, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. I'm still gonna roll the dice for these last 2. I should get a coin and flip the coin. Call it. And I'm gonna roll this dice because I can. So we'll leave it 2 or 4. It's been crazy. Okay, this is probably the first time I've ever had to re-roll on this set. Usually it has rolled a different number almost the entire time. It wants me to do happiness. I could do happiness. It doesn't really matter what order to do these in. Happiness is kind of not. It doesn't feel, well, it does feel fine. No, come on. Give me a solution. Not a problem. Okay, when I get this close to the end, 2. Okay, I can do the farmer's market. Yeah, we'll do the farmer's market then. Well, spoiler alert, but that's what you do in that moment. You go to a farmer's market, which is not what I would think from errands. Errands, I was thinking was going to be more like you gotta, like you do in this one, where you gotta go to the store and do different things for your mom around town. But no, this is going to a farmer's market. So let's have a farmer's market. From the moment you woke up, you knew that today was going to be busier than usual. There was a list of errands that needed to be finished before the day was done. Yeah, your family has errands to do, but you have farmer's market. And you have seed bags, 20. Seed something, I think it, no. Seedless watermelon. I don't know what I was reading there. Seedless watermelon. What is seedless watermelon? I've never heard of that. You got banana. It's one of the few times you can read a sign in this game. But I love these. Look at these frickin', oh my good. These people. Like, I understand you have farms in California, but this is the summer. How do you have pumpkins like this time of year? Is this like late summer? I guess we have to kind of assume this is like September maybe, or August, late August. Could maybe have pumpkins like this, but I know it's just art. I know it's probably drew one pumpkin and copied and pasted it like a bunch of times. That's what this is, right? Because all these things are identical if you really look at them. But still, those are crazy pumpkins. Anyway, we got a list of errands that need to be finished today. Needed to be finished before the day was done. First up was visiting one of the biggest farmers markets in the area. It was only open 2 weekends a month during certain parts of the year. Yeah, I mean, usually they're open every weekend, but yeah, this could be true. Oh, this might not even be anywhere close to our town. I guess it's kind of in the city, too. It was rare that you and your family were able to attend, so your moms liked to make the most out of every minute of it. And you realized it was not just them feeling that way when you heard a whistle from your left side. So, like, that's the thing, right? How is this a chore, an errand? I love farmers markets. I've gone to them. I try to go to them. I don't go to them on the regular because I don't need stuff. I don't need produce and things such as that you get at a farmers market. But I like to go to them. They're fun to check out. Anyway. Wow, this is a swanky show. Vegetables have never seemed so highbrow. And this man goes here too. Seriously, they don't mess around with their products.
Isn't that great?
Let's just take it all in here. We got them all. Haven't seen the moms in a while. Liz crossed her arms. You could tell she was amused. We couldn't have picked a more perfect trip. It's been too long since we've had a true family outing. She is the cat that swallowed the cream, man. Her teasing tone said more than she actually did. Your next-door neighbors had joined you this day, and that's what made it a true family outing. The 3 parents laughed approvingly. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught Cove looking at you sympathetically. Some things never changed, and some jokes never died. You'd long accepted that. Yeah, it's so weird because they make it like, oh, you and Cove, right? So it's like we're all family, and it's like, I don't know, it's more like we're just all really close neighbors, I guess. Like I said, I feel like if you were indifferent to Cove, the moms would have to have been friends with Cliff in order to make these kind of moments work. Otherwise, it'd be like, why would we hang out with these people? so this wouldn't make sense. I wonder if the dialogue has changed in that situation. Sorry. People texting me. You were excited to check things out. You thought this trip might be fun. You shrugged, feeling indifferent. You felt uncomfortable. You were in a bad mood. This trip was a waste of your time. Marina's not going to be grumpy about it. You thought this trip might be fun. I don't know if she's excited. Again, like, is Marina really that excited about produce? Probably not. You smiled, trying to imagine how many stalls were set up. You were more than curious what hidden gems are waiting for you to discover among them. But there is cool stuff to discover, and, you know, she likes spending time with her family. Well, I'm ready to get started. I've got plenty of dishes in mind I could use ingredients for. Yeah, Mr. Chef over here, right? Before your moms responded to that, they glanced at each other and smiled. Yes, that's a very good idea, Cliff. This place is much larger than it seems. It's difficult to visit each part in a single day. Is it really? Is it that hard to visit a whole farm? I don't think that's that hard. I've been to farmers markets, even if they're big, I don't think that's true.
I got it.
I'm sure we can make a decent dent together, at least. Actually, since there's so many of us this time, we could take different sides of the market.
Sounds good.
Divide and conquer, eh? That sounds brilliant. Everyone watched your mom's surprise. No one had considered that an option, but your mom flashed the group a dazzling smile, continuing with the thought. Did they just come up with this? I feel like they planned this, right? Though it's a little unfair that there are 4 foster family members and only 2 Holdens here, so I'll go with you boys to even out the odds.
Okay.
That's fine with me. Cliff scratched the back of his neck and slowly met Cove's stare. They both seemed unconvinced but weren't sure what to say about it. Don't worry, we'll be apart for only a few hours. Then we'll have something to talk about at the end of it. Father and son ultimately nodded. This wasn't an argument they were going to win.
All right.
Alright, I don't get the point, but I also don't mind spending the first part of the trip with Marina and Ma. Wait. Ma clapped her hands together at that. Wait. Is this how... I don't know how it's gonna oh wait, no, I think this is how it went, yeah. This is how it goes. Okay. I was trying to think, because I know they're up to something here, right? They're cooking something up. Wonderful. Are the teams ready to go? Hey, I didn't agree to anything. Yeah, let's go. Can I be the one who goes with the Holdens instead? Ooh, let's ask that. They probably won't let me, because they got a plan here. But I think she would actually want to do that, because she likes hanging out with Cove and Cliff. You look from your mom to Ma, hopefully if they at least get to explore the market, you at least get to explore the market with Cove. He perked up at the suggestion, but then you saw Ma was pouting at your request to leave her group.
Sorry.
No can do this time, kiddo. Seeing that neither parent was budging, you slumped your shoulders. I don't know, we gotta spend quality time with her. I feel bad making Ma sad, but you know, that's what she would think. This is just a sad face. We won't be split up too long, right? Ma hooked an arm around you. Okay, you know what? I don't know, because it's not about Cove. Well, it kind of is. I complain about how it being so flirty, and that just sounds really flirty. I may have to go back.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's just do let's go, because I feel like this is too much like, I want to be with Cove. Delighted, Ma hooked an arm around your little side hug. You grinned.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. Taking the lead, Mom walked over towards Cove and Cliff, who were still eyeing her confusedly. I mean, we would still get to hang out with Lizzie, too, and we love Ma. Ma's probably her favorite, if she had to pick a favorite, because Ma probably taught her how to surf, and that's the whole thing. But Mom is her mom, also. Mom is also the one who enforces all the rules on her.
Let's go.
Come on, boys, we're heading out. Sure. Okay. Cove looked at you softly and found himself pulled forward, stopping in front of you. His expression flickered for a moment, hesitant.
Bye.
Bye. Suddenly, he twitched slightly, his whole body getting stiff. He's gonna be like, I missed you so much the 5 seconds we weren't together, or whatever. He jerked his gaze back at your mom, and you realized that she had grabbed the hem of his shirt. She gave it a small tug before letting go.
No.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Time's a wasting, Cove, and I've known you long enough to be aware that you're one to linger. If I don't stop you now, you'll only drag your feet in parting ways more. The two, you can survive one morning apart, probably. We have important shopping to do now. We're not, like, attached at the hip in this. We're just kind of friends. That makes me upset. They still talk like you're freaking dating. Cole gasped at what he felt was a truly obscene thing to say. His face burned red, and that was ignored by him. He spoke with an unimpressed roll of his eyes.
Seriously?
You don't need to literally pull me away from Marina. I'm not that clingy. Oh, maybe they're thinking it's Cole that's the problem here. Yeah, it might be, actually. Mom sniggered with a shake of her head. Cove's eyebrows raised over the erection. He turned to Ma. She wouldn't be disguised as she whistled innocently. Also, Cove standing up for himself here is kind of interesting. Liv smirked ear to ear, and Cove whipped his head toward his dad. Mr. Holden couldn't offer anything more than an apologetic shrug. It was only then that it dawned on Cove that everyone did think he was that needy. Don't call him needy! Finally, he dared to face you with wide, pleading eyes. Fun getting that reference. Don't make fun of Cove. Who said you were allowed to say things like that to him? Cove is totally capable of being independent when he wants to be. There's nothing wrong with being attached. It's nice. Come on, Cove. You know how it is. Cove is totally capable of being independent when he wants to be. I don't know. I think, oh, come on, Cove. You know how it is. We gotta get in on this, right? Oh, we gotta get in on this. You adored your neighbor, but you found it hard to believe that he didn't realize how often he was like that. Apparently that was the case, though. Cove couldn't believe he was being completely outnumbered. His mouth twisted as he struggled to come up with something to say in his defense. Yeah, well, so what? The admission had Liz, your mom's, and his dad bursting into laughter. Cove grimaced and walked several steps from the group before stopping. He clearly wanted to move on, so much that he was physically moving away. I'll see you soon. For a moment, you weren't sure if Cove had heard you over the noise of the market, but then he nodded. You smiled softly, watching him get over his embarrassment and relax a bit.
See you later.
See you in a few hours. Take care of yourselves. At that, Mom picked a direction and set out into the market with Mr. Holden and Cole following behind her. Grinning, Ma set them off with a big wave. Liz gave a daintier goodbye with it herself. Despite the change in plans, you were still glad to be there. You felt like the change in plans was a good idea. You felt unsure about it. You'd been happy, but now you were annoyed. That definitely put a damper on your good news. You felt like the change in plans was a good idea, I think. This is smart. I think this, despite the change in plans, you're still glad to be there. It wasn't what you'd imagined, but that didn't matter. This was a whole market to explore, and you couldn't wait to find some good stuff. When they were gone, Ma cheerily turned toward you and Liz. She put her hands on her hips. I like that you can decide how you feel about situations. It's more like that, right? It's not like a this is the situation and things happen. It's like, how do you feel about the situation before things happen? When they were gone, Ma cheerily turned toward you and Liz. She put her hands on her hips. Do you think there'll be any nice ginger around here? Oh, I love ginger. We have to find out. You nodded in agreement. You need to truly get the trip going. Mom led you both to the busy market. Some time passed browsing. There were only a few stalls you stopped at. You had fun chatting and laughing, pointing out various things to Ma and Liz and vice versa. At one point, Ma stopped suddenly. She put a hand on her belly and gave her a half-hearted smile. Always putting a hand on her belly, right? Yep. Oh, hey, look. She's putting a hand on her belly, guys. I had no idea that she did that. I appreciate these, but oh, man. Her pose is just weird to me. But, I mean, everybody has to be slightly different, right? I don't know. I think I should have used the bathroom before we left home, like the two of you responsibly did. Oh. Oh, poor Mom. Just need to pee? What? What? Really? What was... I didn't realize they said that, like that. Sorry, I'm eating. Because you didn't know.
Yes.
Because I have to visit the place for now. Should we wait here? Should Liz and I go on without you? Should we all go with you? Should we all go with you? Ma craned forward as she struggled to pinpoint the direction she needed to go. She gently considered her suggestion. There's no need to worry about me for this, or waste time standing around. Keep on shopping. But actually, I might need help finding my way. Can you please come, Lizzie? You and your sister had to share a look over that. Why do that of all things? That, yeah. Frickin' Lizzie. This is just... Lizzie's not in on it, obviously.
Hey.
Whoa, that was... That was...
Hey.
Her voice, man. Her adult voice is interesting. Ma, if anyone should go anywhere on their own, shouldn't it be you? You're the one needing a detour, and you're the parent here. Ma giggled, unfazed by the resistance. Liz, meanwhile, tapped the bra of her hat up, watching Ma skeptically. Soon enough, Marina will have to handle doing these kinds of errands on their own. This makes good practice. What? Ma hooked an arm around Liz and pulled her along.
Have fun.
We'll find each other again later. Excuse me? Bye? Wait? You tried to be waved? Wait? The word burst from your lips as Ma and Liz waited in the crowd, but it was in vain. They were out of sight within moments, and what started as a group outing rapidly became you, entirely on your own. Da-da-da-da-da! You were overwhelmed. You thought, screw them. Ho-ho! Ho-ho! Wow! I forgot that you thought screw them was an option. Wow. I mean, I think that might be the response, actually. I'll read the rest of these. She was looking forward to a nice family outing here, man. You were done with this whole trip. You felt great being left on your own. You thought Ma was being ridiculous, but you didn't really mind. You didn't know what to think. No, Marina actually, though, wants to be on her own. She has this whole plan to leave town and go out into the world, where, you know, and stuff. So this is good. I mean, they probably do this all the time. But she did think that Ma was being ridiculous. I don't know, one of these two. I like this, though, a lot. I want to play a character that's like this. You weren't sure what ulterior motives Ma had for pulling this, but that was far down your priority list at the moment. You were starting to feel happy at the idea of doing things at your own pace. You walked off on your own, you found a place to sit where you left, you texted Dakota to meet up. You walked off on your own. Resigned to your fate, you picked up where you left off, browsing the stalls, one hooked your attention. Oh, here it is. Ah, yes. Let's get a good look at my face. I love fudge. It's so weird to see. Oh, the chocolate white peppermint looks so good. Oh, and toffee. While most stalls were selling various garden-grown foods, this one had an array of homemade fudge. There was even vegan versions of every option. Because of course there is, because you can be vegan and they wouldn't want to exclude people. You got closer to the stall, but soon you got closer to the stall, man. You sidestepped past a few other people and got yourself right in front of the counter for a better look. There were widespread dozens and dozens of delicately cut squares of decadence. The owner smiled and approached you to explain their shop. The fudge is sold in boxes of 4 pieces. They can... No. This is...
Fudge is sold in boxes of 4 pieces. They can either be all the same, all different, or any mix you like. Are you looking to buy any today?
You didn't want to get any? You want to get yourself a box? You want to get a box to share with everyone? You want to get a box just for Cove? Boo! Let's share with everyone. The whole selection was too good not to share. You wanted to get yourself a box. And that was all. Yeah. Well, I don't know why you would get... I guess if you get one... Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I could use some fudge.
I'm glad. You came to the right place then.
For the group you picked... Oh, wait, for the whole group. Wait, can we pick more? Is it just one kind? Because I'd probably get a little bit of everything for the whole group. Can we do that? Let's see. Let's start with the obvious ones. Milk chocolate, and dark chocolate, and white chocolate, and cookies and cream. Okay. You can get 4. Now we know. So, toffee. So, let's think about this. We're gonna get cookies and cream. And what would Cove like? She probably knows Cove well enough that he would like the dark chocolate mint. And I feel like a milk chocolate is a good bet. And let's get the red velvet for something extra. Maybe I feel like Liz would like the red velvet. Well, Marina would like the key lime. Well, I picked cookies and she would also like cookies and cream. We'll get the red velvet for Liz. The shop owner carefully put your order together. Everyone else is definitely going to be happy when you regroup later. You paid and there was no stopping the larger grin across all your faces. Pivoting on... Wait. Going across all your face. All your face, not all your faces. That's weird. I know I read it like that. Pivoting on your heels, you wove your way back to the center of the path. You pondered for a moment what you should do now. None of the stalls were catching your eye. What did grab your attention, however, was a head of familiar seafoam hair sticking out above the crowd. You knew instantly it was Toe. He hadn't noticed you yet, but he was walking in your direction. He held a couple bags tightly in his hand. Strangely, you couldn't spot your mom or his dad anywhere. You called out to him. Of course we did. We're not gonna, abandon Cove out here. Standing firm, you cupped your hands around your mouth for added protection. You took a deep breath. Cove, Holden, get your butt over here! He instantly stopped dead in his tracks. Alert, Cove's head snapped up and his eyes searched the crowd until they landed on you. His whole demeanor brightened at the sight. Marina! He weaved through the passerby deftly in an attempt to get through as fast as reasonably possible, slipping around them with ease. You went over to him. You couldn't move from where you were. You bounced the place. Excited him to reach the spot. You ran to meet him. You took off full tilt toward Cove as he continued his own approach. It was undeniable that he was shopping by himself. You stared at him confused. Did you ditch your group? Cove crossed his arms defiantly, the bags twisting in front of him. Your mom took my dad and I ended up alone. Why are you by yourself? Ma and Liz abandoned me too.
What?
Can't believe this happened to both of us. They planned it. They had to. But I know why. I don't know why. Are they pranking us? I don't know either. And you meant it. You couldn't fathom what your moms were up to. Cove shook his head, trying to clear his mind.
Well...
I guess things are just up to us now. Yeah. So, his gaze wandered off as if one of your parents might simply appear if you kept checking, and you could tell he was still processing the situation. He scratched the back of his head, looking sheepish. So they make this sound like it's a big errand and a chore, you gotta do all this stuff, but they never gave us a list or anything. It's just, here you are at the farmer's market by yourself, have fun, right? Buy whatever you want. That's not really an errand. And that's not really shopping you have to do. It's just screw around at the farmer's market. Unless you're supposed to know what, the expectation is for you to buy the meals by yourself, in which case, how do you know what anybody wants? Do you want to forget about whatever's happening and go shopping together? Definitely. There was a little care in your mind for what your moms had planned. You were ecstatic at the thought of spending the rest of your trip with him. Cove's grin twisted into a conspiratorial tone. You both knew that you were going against whatever had really been planned for this outing, but luckily neither of you cared one bit at this point. So where to first? I don't mind going back the way I came if it's new to you. It's not hard to miss stuff even if we've gone past it. What have you gotten? Cove shuffled his bags around and started pulling them open so you could peek inside each one. You recognized an array of things picked up around the market. I mostly got typical things I can use pretty easily so far. Nothing super exciting. Well, I picked up a few things I figured that you might want to have too. What? Why are you shopping for me? We're not dating or living together or anything, you weirdo. There were a few avocados, some lemons, and potatoes among things that were wrapped up so you couldn't discern what they were. Yeah, she would probably be the California avocado girl. You chose perfectly, thank you. What Cove had bought made sense, but it was far from a complete selection. You glanced around the nearby stalls. Want to start over there? Cole followed your eye as you pointed at larger stalls. It was filled with several kinds of staple fruits and vegetables.
Come on.
Once a few people finished paying and moved, you and Cove got yourself directly in front of the shop. There were so many things to pick from. I guess the implication here is that you're expected to pick out your own food. But that's dumb. I would just screw around at the farmer's market anyway, so here's this. Peaches. You can't get peaches and... yeah. She also likes the oranges, peaches, some peppers. Maybe tomatoes. I think that was all. I mean, he's already got the lemons, and we don't really need limes. We want limes, we want limes too. She likes limes. The shop owner put your selection together and handed it to you in a couple bags. Happily, you paid and waited for Cove to make his purchase. If you only get one thing, I wonder if they say only one bag. instead of a couple bags. Because everything we got would be a few bags, right? It's better than 3 bananas, Mr. Cove 3 bananas holding over here. Ready to go? Cove grinned, satisfied with his new choices. He had added another bag to his small but growing collection. You nodded.
All right.
Okay, now let's go. Together, you and Cove wandered the market on the lookout for any stalls that caught your attention. I just kind of picked good fresh fruits, and I'm trying to think what kind of things Marina would like off the top of my head, spur of the moment. That's what we're doing. Cove was walking around with a spring in his step, talking about the various meal ideas he had in mind. After a while, you had to go greater distances to find something of interest. Several of the stalls were selling the same goods, and it was only a matter of now of which you wanted to buy from. To be fair, Marina's probably figuring out how to cook, because she's planning to take care of herself, so she's probably been doing cooking, some of the cooking at home, and testing things, and would have ideas. You continued ambling down the path until Cove disappeared suddenly from your peripheral vision. Pulling you away from your thoughts. I don't have peripheral vision, by the way, or it's very limited. I have a weird eye condition that limits my peripheral. Cove? You spun around, spotting him steps back. He was standing still. He followed his eye line past the crowd. Immediately you knew it grabbed him. Homemade jams and local honey. Jams and such. This is one thing I will always buy. I went to a farm market this past weekend and I bought some homemade jam. I love getting preserves this time of year. That stall was glittering with quaint glass jars stacked high, each encasing gels of various colors. Cove's eyes were practically sparkling at the sight. His feet automatically began to take him there, likely without being fully aware he'd made an unexpected detour. I also like toast a lot, so yeah, having homemade preserves is perfect. When you got closer, you were surprised there were even more varieties than you thought. There were even different honeys based on what type of pollen the bees used. Cove's focus seemed torn between a bottle of blackberry jam and one of clover honey. Do you want some honey, honey? He said just to tease him. I wonder what on earth could possibly want to stall. Everything looks good. This one. I wonder what on earth you could possibly want to stall. Your voice was dripping with sarcasm, and there was no holding in your laughter when he gave you a disapproving side eye. You thought things over for yourself too. Honey, man. Orange blossom honey. Let's take a second though. Take a minute. Better yet, why don't we take 4B and talk about rhubarb jam? Growing up, we had rhubarb. We had a garden, and we did lots of things. So we didn't have like a lot of fruit trees or fruits and stuff. We did pick strawberries and blueberries and sometimes raspberries in the fall or the summer, and made homemade preserves. Or at least my mom did that. But we had rhubarb in our garden. And my mom would make pies and jams out of that. And it is such a good flavor. I miss rhubarb stuff so much. It's such an interesting flavor. It's like a sweet / kind of tart taste. Now, Marina probably wouldn't care. She's going to be all about that orange blossom honey. But, yeah. And that was everything. But rhubarb jam is great. If you ever get a chance to try anything. Or rhubarb pie, too. What I wouldn't give for some rhubarb pie. I'm gonna seek that out this autumn. That's gonna be a thing I do. I'm gonna try to find rhubarb pie at go to markets and stuff and try to find it. That's a goal. You paid and the shop owner started putting together your order. They carefully packed it in a single bag of paper. Pie is more of an autumn thing for me. It always has been. Thank you very much. Amused, you watched Cove give in and buy just buy both the clover honey and the blackberry jam. He went all in, getting spring wildflower honey and plum jam too. Oh wow. The shop owner thoughtfully wrapped each in a brown paper to protect them before putting them away in a bag. He handed the purchase to Cove. Marina's more like the way I purchase things. Like just get one thing instead of buying a ton of stuff like Cove.
Thank you.
She's also trying to save her money for stuff. Trips. You both stepped away from the stall. Cove didn't fail to notice the look he'd been giving him since he agonized over his toast toppers. Toast toppers. It's my toast toppers, man. I never have honey on toast. I should try that. I have last fall bought honey like this from a vendor at a farmer's market type thing, flea market type thing, with local vendors like this. I should do that. Hey, this doesn't go bad for a long time, so why not stock up? I could have chosen one if I wanted to. For a moment I thought you were going to buy the whole stall. What happens if we buy the whole stall? It'd be a completely different conversation. Cove laughed, but he still tried to shake his head in disapproval. He'd hoped he enjoyed every bit of what he bought. As he began to stroll, Cove looked up at the sky. He smiled. It was sort of unexpected, considering all this was technically an errand and unexpected changes often upset him. But he was happy, and Cove kind of liked doing this kind of normal thing. And you could tell that Cove especially enjoyed doing these kinds of things with you. Like, Cove is a very, does better on his own kind of person. He always has been. It's because of who Cove is, right? You were feeling the same as him. You were feeling down about how the trip turned out. Cove's pleased attitude annoyed you. So, we've been happy the whole time, so why would we change now? You ever could let what happened put a damper on this outing? I'm glad we're having a good time. We're so domestic. I kind of wonder what others are doing right now. We're so domestic. He looked at you and your teasing grin and chuckled. Yep, I guess we are. Later, when you spotted a less crowded area, you took a break from browsing. Cove started rummaging through his bags, checking how the goods were doing. A smile grew on his face as he went on to the next. Marina would like eat a peach or something like that. You chuckled knowing that Cove wouldn't let anything go to waste. There wasn't a single doubt. He was going to eat it all. You held a hand in front of your face as you squinted upward. The sun had moved quite a bit, and you'd been at the market for a good while now. Yep. Neither your feet nor your arms were sore right now, and Cove looked to be doing fine too. That was something that could be coming. So, that's the thing. They're like, we have all this stuff to do today, and then they spend all day at this market anyway, which is weird. There was a price to pay for this much shopping, and it wasn't always just in money. I don't know about that. You get a little tired, but I think, especially at their age, they're 18. I think running around a farmer's market for a few hours is nothing. But they're also both in good shape. But of course, we could ask for a piggyback ride. Want me to carry your bags? You could also offer him a piggyback ride. Ooh la la. Cove stared at you unsure, but you just held a hand expectantly.
What?
I have to do that. I bought it. Besides, you're only carrying stuff. Who cares about that? I'm trying to do you a favor here. Okay, you win. It's actually kind of a loss you're willing to take. Yeah. Nah, that's a win.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, they're both in good shape here. Cove bunched up his bags into two groups and held them out for you to take. You accepted and had to temporarily put all the bags down to the ground. He chuckled watching you shuffle the bags around so each arm wasn't carrying too much.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this, really. It's nice of you. No problem. Now I get to show off how strong I am. Standing up straight with the bags, you were all set to get going again. You grinned, happy to do this. That's exactly the reason, too. I'm glad they picked up on that. And with that, you and Cove continue your trip through the market together. Mom and Mom had both texted you during the trip, though only to say that they hoped you found some good stuff and they'd just see you later. There were no answers on why they went and why. You and Cove continued to wind your way through the bustling market, the list of outstanding items steadily shrinking while the bags grew heavier. How are there outstanding items? We don't have a list. No one gave us a list. We're just screwing around at the farmer's market. How is there anything outstanding? Eventually, Cove realized he hadn't checked his own phone in a while. The two of you came to a stop in the nearest alcove, where you'd be out of the steady stream of people perusing the stalls and pulled out his phone. Cove pulled out his phone. Jesus. He pulled out his phone. Okay, you only say it twice, but he pulled out his phone. Cove pulled out his phone. You watched his eyes dart over the screen as he reached the waiting messages. Not important, I can reply to that later. He mumbled his verdict under his breath. Then Cove's face scrunched up in confusion.
Huh?
Wait, I've got a message from my dad. Listen to this. Cove, I wasn't part of the plan. I didn't know what was going on when I left with Marina's mom. Where are you? He sent that ages ago. I didn't hear it come in. He sent another one since says hopes I'm alright and that he's not bothering me. The newest one says everybody's going to the parking lot soon. We can meet up there. He lowered his phone, eyes narrowed. The same conclusion that was settling on you had landed on Cove as well. So it was on purpose. Your parents weren't off riding bikes at the sunset this time. It was something entirely different. Hey, that thing with frickin' Derek. He lifted the phone again, staring hard at the screen. Didn't my mommy pull this stunt when we were little? You know, that time she took us to the mall? Yeah, pretty much the same kind of thing. Also, the frickin', the bike riding one, Marina carried, Nicholas, too. Nicholas. At least your mom said she was leaving. Mom said a plan. The small thing was spur of the moment. Is this a mom thing? What your mom did was even worse. I don't know. My mom's had a plan. The mall thing was a spur of the moment. Yeah, that's true. The crowd of people passing by stayed as noisy as ever, a sharp contrast to the silence that had fallen over you and Cove. He was rubbing the screen off his phone against his shirt, wiping away dust and debris. I do this all the time. He continued scrubbing the screen long after anything could have remained. The action of poor substitute for pushing away the awkwardness in the moment. Yeah, so the whole thing, right? With the moms are up to no good here. You felt alright about it all. The whole mess was upsetting you. You were furious. You didn't care what your mom. You didn't care about what your moms had done. You were struggling to comprehend this. The shock was too fresh for you to know how you felt. I don't know why she'd be upset, honestly. Like it's just something that happened. It's like you didn't care about what your moms had done. I think it hadn't changed what you'd done that day or who you'd done it with. Okay, fine. That could be really weird, huh? That could be really weird, huh?
Are you okay?
His voice was gentle. I'm peachy, I mean it. That's good. Abandoning us without warning was really a cool idea, even if they meant well, which they probably did. You don't have to be all like, oh, are you okay? It's like, yeah, don't really give a crap. The moms do whatever the moms do. As you may have noticed, her relationship with her mom isn't as good now as it was when she was a kid. It's part of the whole I want to be on my own and be independent kind of thing. He looked you straight in the eyes. Not making a big deal out of this is nice. I'm not exactly thrilled personally, so if you want to complain to me, you can. I can't. I don't have anything to complain about. Okay, I'm disappointed. You can be kind of annoying to me. No. I don't have anything to complain about. Nothing, ever. I don't know. His mouth hung open, then he laughed.
No way.
Come on, you gotta have plenty of stuff to complain about just for the stunts I pulled myself, let alone what's happened today. Yeah, honestly, of everything today and lately, I wonder what happens if you do pick the you could be kind of annoying thing. You cracked a grin at that, despite yourself. He could certainly be a troublemaker when he wanted to be, but he could also be so kind. After a moment, he stepped away from you, face turned. Cove closed his eyes and took a deep breath. His brow creased and furrowed deeper into his skull, his arms tightly coiling together. So they did something stupid, I knew it. So this moment makes more sense if you're someone who's actually sensitive to stuff, and Marina really doesn't care. His voice had taken on an exaggerated quality, but what was truly distinguished from Cove's typical speaking tone was the abundance of rage. This is such a chore. Parents are so dumb. Why do people have to go places with family members anyway? I hate them. I also hate farmers markets. Really? Really, Cove? Jeez. This is not the happy music. Why are you being like this? You got it instantly. It had been years since Jeremy visited. Oh, he's being a Jeremy. I see. He's just pretending to be Jeremy. You got it instantly. It had been years since Jeremy visited your town for the summers, and they've changed greatly nowadays. But Cove never forgot the experience. See, we know that Jeremy's a different person, and they comment on that now. To this day, he continued to unleash his impersonation of Jeremy's younger self whenever the moment felt right. That's kind of fun. You shook your head at Cove's silliness. You played along. Jeremy's never gonna live that down, huh? Not ever. And he ends up having a good relationship with Jeremy. Cove gave you a lopsided smile, letting the joke rest for now. Come on, we should probably go meet up with the group. Yeah. You didn't dally any longer, slipping back into the crowd and making your way towards the entrance to the farmer's market. Parking lot. It didn't take long to reach the parking lot. Your parents, Mr. Holden and Liz, were already waiting there, and they waved at both of you as you approached. Your own family seemed to be in pretty good moods. In contrast to Mr. Holden, he stared at Cove with open concern as you got closer. Hey, bud. Hey, Marina. How you doing? We'd be doing better if we hadn't been abandoned in a farmer's market by our families. He saw your mom's frowning at his response, smile glancing from Cove to Mom with blinking eyes. Just because Marina tries to make things a good time no matter what, doesn't mean you can't just leave them out of your plans and expect them to go with it every time. Wow, you're really white knighting here, Cove. We didn't ask for this. Just saying. I do like that this is an accurate description of Marina. Ma hung her head, ashamed, and Mom had a hand pressed to her cheek. You could tell they were quickly regretting their scheme.
I am so sorry.
Hey, that's where the I'm so sorry comes from. The really sincere apology. Her words were full of emotion. Mom squeezed Ma's arm. We're trying to make the errand more of a trip, less of a chore. Ma nodded. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. It was more of a trip, less of a chore, and I think Marina gets that. We didn't think you, Cove, and Liz wanted to be stuck trudging around the market with your parents all day. I mean, she wouldn't have minded. especially not in the summer. But you're always very thoughtful and don't like to leave your moms behind, so we did ourselves. It was only going to be for the market, not the other stops, I promise. But so you're right, we could have just told you and let you make your own call. I really am sorry, neither of us meant to upset you.
I'm really sorry.
All gas, no brakes, we should have known better, sorry. But we're not... She's not mad. Like, Cove is being dumb and indignant on my behalf, but we're not mad at all. Ma ditched me too after pulling her urgent potty break stunt, if that helps. I went off on my own to do shopping, at least it seems they planned.
Sorry.
Sorry I didn't check back in with you, I wasn't thinking and just tried to blow it off. He quietly took in their stories of what happened. Over to the side, Cove was talking to his dad. Thanks for telling me something was up, though I feel bad for missing the warning when you sent it.
You're welcome.
It's no trouble, sport. I learned my lesson about making surprise plans. Yeah, over and over and over again, right, man? Besides, I gotta register every thought that wanders through this head before you first. Yeah, they made that deal when we introduced the $20 bill thing. This is something that he said because of that. That sounds about right, yeah. Cove smiled at his dad. Mr. Holden, laughing, clapped Cove on the back.
Not bad.
Wow, we were really being outplayed today. Yeah. You realized you hadn't been the only one onlookers to the Holden's moment. Your moms were exchanging rueful looks. Liz had her arms crossed over her chest, patiently watching it all unfold. Yeah, looks like it. We better find some way to catch up.
In that case...
Maybe we can do Marina's chores for next week. Mom jabbed Ma on the shoulder. You might be onto something. Marina, how'd you like the sound of that? He looked at you hopefully. Make it 2 weeks, you're gonna have to do more than that. I'll think about it. You don't have to do anything. I was never mad. Yes, this. I was never mad. You're all just like being super dramatic. And she's just like, eh? I get to hang out at a farmer's market and shop? Okay. It's wonderful. We'll still be better. Come on. At the very least, we can make sure everyone stays together for the rest of the stops we're making today. You all nodded the suggestion. You spent the whole day at that place, and now it's evening. We still got more to do.
Yes.
We won't let you down. We'll be the best sheepdogs ever, guarding the flock and catching any strays.
Funny.
We can at least be shepherds. You chuckled at your mood lifting in spite of the bumpy morning. It was going to be alright. You turned to the entrance to the farmer's market one final glance, pressing it in your memory under this new light. You thought on what you picked up at the market and how you were going to enjoy it later. Some things you could get only from the local suppliers like this. That was another perk of coming along in the market today. Actually, you realized this would be a good time to bring the fudge you got to share while everyone was clustered together. Your attention, please. I have something for you all. The announcement grabbed everyone's interest, and they looked over at you, each curious about what you had in store. You dug your hand into the bag and pulled out the specially selected treat. There was this great fudge stall, and being so kind and generous, I got a box for us to try together. And humbled, too. Ooh.
Aww.
That's so sweet of you. The Holdens were wearing matching grins at the prospect of free dessert. Their family resemblance more notable as they mirrored each other's expression. Sweet is the right word for this. Thanks very much, Marina.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're fantastic.
Great. Can't wait to bust it open. We should just save it for tonight. You can't properly enjoy a treat when there's still chores to be done. Trust me. Besides, we don't want to make a mess with it melting on this heat. Oh my god! Fudge melting in the heat is the worst. And you always get it in the summer, and it's awful. The others murmured their agreements and nodded, reaching a consensus. You stowed the box away safely for now. Cove then decided to look next to you, an eager smile on his face. You could tell from his expression he was up to something. Thanks again for getting fudge. It was really cool of you. You knew he hadn't come over just to thank you individually, not with that huge smirk. Got something to share too, but, oh, well, only really with you. I guess I'm not as nice. Oh well. You've been plotting your own scheme. Over here, this man's over here plotting and scheming, man. He laughed. Anyway, well, I sort of picked something out with you in mind. He held a hand to your chest, staring at Cove. You held a hand to your chest, staring at Cove as he explains further.
I mean...
Since your moms decided we should shop separately, I figured I could use the time to get you something, just as a little surprise. He reached into one of his bags to retrieve one of the wrapped-up objects. You accepted the unexpected present and looked on excitedly as you tore out the paper. It was a glass bottle, a small batch of lemonade. You didn't need to taste it to know that it would be nice. It was a boutique product. It was heavy in your hands. The container had a smart metal cap reaffirming the quality. Even the label, constructed from coarse paper rather than the flimsy sheet of plastic, was distinctive. She likes citrus. She likes tropical citrusy stuff. And there's that one time they made lemonade together. You were practically bouncing in anticipation as he smiled at your sweetly reaction. It's not a big deal, but I just thought you might like it. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. You're so wonderful. You smiled. You're always getting me things. You're always getting me things. So, you were touched that Cove wanted to treat you something nice. Whether you were physically together or not. You were clearly always on his mind and heart. Let's clap your hands together in the air with teacher calling for attention. Since the other adults aren't acting like grown-ups, the rest of us are going to have to pick up the slack. It's time to get back on schedule and continue with the rest of the errands. Playtime is officially over. Ma laughed while Mr. Holden grinned awkwardly. Mom hung her head in an exaggerated display of mock defeat. I feel like this character would do really well in the springtime, too, not just the summer. Kids are tough. Actually, and I can't even call them kids anymore. Liz tut-tutted with amusement at her mother. Cove shrugged, staying a neutral observer, but the small smile on his face revealed he was enjoying the conclusion. Sorry, that term has expired. You grinned, letting them know that you were at least partly joking, though you and Cove and Liz could hardly be called kids these days. You were glad that everyone was getting along. False. If you act like a kid, you should be a kid. Especially at this age. Like 18 to 20-ish is not adult. With that, your trip to the farmer's market was closed. It was time to move on. I wonder what the average age of the player of this game is. I bet you that's on Steam. I could probably look at the analytics for it. Is it people my age, like, 20 to 30 somethings, or is it younger folks? Because I feel like older folks like that would get, like, millennial age people would get more of a something out of this than. But it'd be interesting to know if the younger folks do play this, like people who are actually on age with the characters in this. I mean, there were too many of you for one car, so you and Cove wound up in Mr. Holden's car on the way over. And I say that because the people who would consider this being an adult, not being a kid anymore, right? Which is what I don't at my age. But someone who was 18 would be like, yeah, I'm an adult. You figured it made sense to do the same thing for the next leg of the journey. You sat next to Cove in the bed. This is a moment that never ends, jeez. After buckling in, Cove leaned back in the seat, letting himself cushion by the headrest. Once he shifted a little, he appeared to have found the perfect angle for maximum comfort. He gazed out the window, looking suitably content with the world. You followed suit, hunkering down in your seat, looking out the window as the car pulled away from the lot. You knew Cove well enough to spot the signs of where he was physically present but mentally elsewhere. The way he would fall quiet, staring without seeing, and the long blinks, all of which he was doing right now as he looked at nothing in particular. The man's 10,000 years, 10-yard stare, or whatever that expression is that I can't think of at the moment. You closed your eyes as you pulled up the resolve to speak. You wiggled your eyebrows at him jokingly. So what were you so lost in thought about? Cove idly rubbed at his face. Honestly, I was just thinking how nice it is to know you. It, makes life better and everything. Though he was turned away from you, his eyes were round and sincere. Not that this is a new revelation, but today was another reminder I'm lucky. I wonder if he'd still say this if we, abandoned him. He blushed, his words stunned you. Ugh. You laughed happily. He peeked at you for the corner of his eye, still too shy to look at you directly. You smiled at him affectionately, eliciting an equally caring smile from Cove in return. Marina deflects. You felt content securing your relationship with Cove. Yeah, we're not in a relationship. I know what you mean by this, but because it's still a friendship, it's still a relationship, but this is, yeah. You decided to enjoy your drink now, you want to save the drink for later. You decided to enjoy your drink now. You twisted off the cap out to your mouth, even before the first temperature left the scent tickled your nostrils. Took a swig, it was refreshing, the perfect way to hit the spot after a long morning trawling through the market. Not bad at all, thanks, Cove. He grinned at you, pleased as pick a bit well received.
You're welcome.
You spent the rest of the day completing the remaining errands all together as a group. You enjoyed your brief independence. You were glad to close the day with everyone. You enjoyed your brief independence. It might not have come about under ideal circumstances, but it provided you an opportunity to spend time making your own choices. You felt that you'd risen to the challenge. Yeah, that's Marina's whole thing. She wants to be independent. So, we pretty much got the rest of this mapped out. Join us next time as we attend the charity event with Cove. And then we learn about happiness, and then summer ended. We'll see ya in the near future.